Deptford, southeast London, spring 1985. A place of terraced houses and tower blocks, kebab shops and betting shops, railway bridges and rain. It is not, by any conventional measure, the centre of the musical universe. But then, the scalded dogs are not, by any conventional measure, a band.
People think punk is dead, yeah? I hear that all the time. Punk is dead. Punk is over. Punk packed its bags and moved to Basildon. Nah, that's rubbish, that is. Punk ain't dead. Punk's down the boozer having a fight with a fruit machine. That's where punk is. Punk's alive. It just don't feel well. It's got a cold, but it's still standing. One eye shut, nose bleeding, but still standing. That's Deptford, innit? That's us.
Can you tell me a bit about how the band started?
Yeah, right. So, me and Spanner, that's Keith on guitar, we was working at the Peak Friends biscuit factory over in Bermondsey, weren't we? Packing bourbons into boxes 12 hours a day for £1.50 an hour. And one day, right, we're on our tea break, and Spanner says to me, I'll never forget this, because it changed me life. He says, Degsy, I had a dream last night that Margaret Thatcher ate me nan. Just like that, straight face. Margaret Thatcher ate me nan. And I looked at him and I said, that's it, innit? That's the whole thing. That's everything wrong with this country in one sentence. And we started a band that afternoon.
Had either of you played an instrument before?
Nah, that's the point though, innit? If you can play an instrument, you're part of the system. The system wants you to learn chords. The system wants you to read music. Well, we can't read music. We can barely read. But we can scream and we can feel things. And that's more than Mozart ever done for Deptford.
I got this guitar off a bloke at the Lewisham car boot for £3. It had 6 strings when I bought it, but the IE snapped on the first day and I never replaced it. Don't need it. 5 strings is plenty. Hendrix had 6 strings, and look what happened to him. Whew, I rest me case.
How many chords do you know?
3, E, A, and one I invented myself. I call it the spanner chord. It's basically an E, but you put your finger on the wrong fret. It sounds terrible, but in a good way. Like a dog barking at the postman. There's emotion in it, innit?
What's your songwriting process?
Right, so Degsy screams something, I hit the guitar, Baz hits the drums, and Terry just sort of stands there. Vibrates a bit. It's spiritual, really. Like church, but with more spitting. And faster. Church is too slow, innit? If church was punk, more people would go.
I took up drums because I was angry. I'm still angry. But now I've got rhythm to me anger, which is an improvement. Before the band, I'd just be angry in me head. No structure to it, no shape. Now it comes out on the beat. That's what art does to you. Makes your rage more organised.
What are you angry about?
Everything, mate. The old lot, the government, the council, the price of bread, the fact that pigeons exist and no one's explained why. But mainly, the council put a speed bump outside me mum's house on Lewisham Way, and it's the wrong shape. I've measured it. It should be 4 inches high. It's 3.5. That missing ½ inch is a disgrace. I wrote a letter. They wrote back saying it meets regulations. It does not meet regulations. I've got the British Standard document. I'll show you. It's in my room.
That's quite specific.
The world is made up of specific things, Jerry. If you don't pay attention to the specific things, the general things fall apart. That speed bump is a metaphor for everything.
Terry? Terry?
Yeah,
Can you tell me about yourself?
I play bass.
How would you describe the band's sound?
Loud.
Anything else?
I don't talk much. I let the bass talk.
And what does the bass say?
It says the same thing I do. Nothing but loud.
In March 1984, the NME published a full-page review of the Scalded Dogs' second EP, Oi, That's My Bus. The reviewer, Julie Dawkins, gave it 1 star out of 5, then changed her mind and circled back to give it 4. Her review called them the worst band in Britain and possibly the most important. The band had the article framed, then unframed, because frames were bourgeois.
Julie Dawkins is a genius, right? She understood us. She got it. Everyone thought she was taking the piss, but she wasn't. When she said we was the worst band in Britain, that was a compliment. Because being good at music is easy. Any mug can be good at music. Being deliberately, magnificently terrible, that takes vision. That takes commitment. We rehearse 5 days a week to sound that bad. You think it's easy? Try it. Try playing 3 chords out of tune at 200 beats per minute while screaming about a bus. It's exhausting.
I thought the review was brilliant. She said me guitar playing sounded like, what was it? A shopping trolley being pushed down a flight of stairs. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me. Me mum cried. Happy tears. Well, mostly happy.
Me review was the first time anyone outside Deptford noticed we existed. Before that, we was just 4 blokes making a racket above a kebab shop. After that, we was 4 blokes making a racket above a kebab shop with press coverage. That's the difference between a band and a movement.
Some money now.
On August the 11th, 1984, the Scalded Dogs played what would become the most notorious gig in Margate's history. They had been booked to perform a 15-minute set at a community summer fete organised by the Thanet District Labour Party. What followed has been described variously as a spontaneous outpouring of working-class energy, a riot, and, by Margate Magistrates' Court, as an act of criminal damage totalling £412. Within 6 minutes of the band taking the stage, 3 deck chairs had been destroyed, an ice cream van had been overturned, a fiberglass seagull mounted on the roof of the Dolphin Cafe had been knocked into the road, and an elderly woman named Brenda Tompkins, aged 73, had somehow been launched, airborne, into a children's paddling pool. No one has ever satisfactorily explained how Mrs. Tompkins became airborne.
That was the most beautiful day of me life. And I include the day I was born, which me mum says was also chaotic, but less musical. Brenda, Mrs. Tompkins, she come up to me afterwards, right? Soaking wet, ice cream in her hair, and she grabbed me and she said, and I will never forget this, she said, "Young man, that was the most exciting thing that's happened to me since V-Day." I nearly cried. That's what punk's about, innit? Reconnecting the generations, bringing joy to the elderly through violence.
The ice cream van was an accident. Mostly. Look, the handbrake was already dodgy. If you park a van on a slope near a punk gig, That's on you, innit? That's physics. We didn't invent gravity. Newton invented gravity. Blame him.
Terry, what do you remember about Margate?
The seagulls. Me mum cut that out and stuck it on the fridge. First time she was ever proud of me. She's still got it up there. Right next to a photo of me nan and a leaflet about chiropody.
Brennan Tompkins, 73. Came to Margate for a cup of tea. Didn't know that she'd end up flying through the air into a paddling pool. But Brennan had a lovely time. Brennan had a lovely time. She said it was the best day since the war. And that's what punk rock is for.
I've been doing this 20 years. I started at Pathway Studios in '65. Did sessions at Olympic. Ended up here. I've recorded a lot of bands. I did a session with The Damned once. I engineered a B-side for Susie Sue. I've worked with proper musicians, improper musicians, and everything in between. I've seen bands implode, explode, and on one occasion, literally catch fire. But nothing, and I mean nothing, has prepared me for the scalded dogs.
What happened on the first day?
They turned up 3 hours late. Degsy had lost his voice screaming at a pigeon. Don't ask. Spanner brought his guitar with only 5 strings and said the 6th one was, and I quote, a capitalist construct. Baz spent 40 minutes measuring the door frame because he said it was the wrong proportions and it was making him anxious. And Terry...
What about Terry?
Terry plugged his bass into the amp, stood in the corner of the live room, and stared at the wall for 45 minutes. Didn't play a note. Didn't move. One of me interns thought he'd died standing up. When I finally went in and said, "Terry, mate, we haven't actually started yet," he just looked at me and said, "I know," and went back to staring. Day 3. We attempt to record Maggie Thatcher nicked me nan's pension. Take 1. Spanner breaks a string. We're down to 4. Take 2. Degsy forgets the words to his own song. Take 3. Baz stops halfway through because he says the tempo feels morally wrong. Take 4. A cat gets into the studio. No one knows how. Takes 5 through 11. Various catastrophes, including a blown fuse, a leaking ceiling, and Degsy accidentally recording 30 seconds of himself arguing with a kebab shop on the studio phone.
Did you get a usable take?
Take 12. We got it. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And it's actually something. I can't explain it. It's terrible. The guitar is out of tune, the drums are too fast, and there's a moment where Degsy screams so hard his voice just disappears. But there's something in it. Something real. Like they've put everything they've got into this ugly, broken, furious little song, and it's more honest than anything I've recorded in years. I sat there after they left and I listened back to it 4 times. And I fought. Either I'm losing me mind or this is actually brilliant. I've considered both possibilities.
You can't trust past, tried past. I've been waiting here 40 minutes in the rain, you capitalist.
Hang on. Spanner, in the second chorus, minutes changes to biscuits, yeah?
Yeah, 'cause it's funnier.
But it don't rhyme.
It rhymes more than minutes does.
Biscuits don't rhyme with capitalist.
It rhymes more than minutes does.
Minutes don't rhyme with capitalist either. That's the point. Nothing rhymes with capitalist. That's punk.
If nothing rhymes with capitalist, then biscuits rhymes as much as anything else. You can't say nothing rhymes and then say one thing don't rhyme. If nothing rhymes, everything rhymes equally. That's logic, innit?
He's got a point, you know.
Really? Has he?
Yeah. If nothing rhymes, then the set of words that rhyme and the set of words that don't rhyme are both the same set, which is all words. So biscuits is as valid as anything. It's philosophy.
Since when are you a philosopher?
Since I read a book.
One book don't make you a philosopher.
How many books did you read?
I read half of one, but it was Orwell. Alf and Orwell is worth 10 of anything else. They've been arguing about whether biscuits rhymes with minutes for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I've timed it. Terry hasn't weighed in. Terry hasn't spoken since Tuesday. At one point, I thought he might settle it, because he opened his mouth, but he was just yawning. I've smoked a full packet of Benson since this started. I might smoke another one. I might smoke the desk. We've decided biscuits stays. Terry broke the deadlock.
Terry spoke?
Nah, he just nodded. But it was a very decisive nod. You could feel the intent behind it. That nod had weight.
Between recording sessions, the camera follows the band into their lives outside the studio. What emerges is a portrait of 4 men whose relationship with each other and with the world around them is more complicated than the noise they make would suggest.
People think I just make it up on the spot, but I don't. I write things down. I think about words. I think about what they mean, what they weigh. A word's got weight, right? Thatcher, that's a heavy word. You can feel it land. Pension, that's a sad word. Put them together and you've got a song. That's all songwriting is. Finding the words that weigh the right amount and putting them next to each other. I wrote a poem once about the Thames, showed it to Baz and he said it was good. Showed it to Spanner and he said, "What's a poem?" Showed it to Terry and he just looked at it for a long time and then looked at me and nothing was said, but I knew he understood. That's the thing about Terry. He understands things without words.
I live here still, with me mum. I know what people think. 25 in a punk band, still living at home. But me mum's hip is bad, and she can't do the stairs on her own some days. So I stay. I do the shopping, I fix things. I go to band practice. I come home, I make her tea. I've been reading this book, Siddhartha. It's about a bloke in India hundreds of years ago trying to find the meaning of life. And he tries everything. Religion, money, pleasure. And in the end, he just sits by a river and listens. And the river tells him everything he needs to know. I think about that a lot. I think maybe the Thames is trying to tell us something, but we're all too busy shouting to hear it.
That's quite profound.
Yeah, well, don't tell the others. They'll think I've gone soft. Degsy will start calling me the Dalai Lama of Lewisham. He's already threatened it once.
Terry Gudgeon remains, throughout the filming, an enigma. He lives alone in a bedsit in New Cross. He has no telephone. He arrives at rehearsals precisely on time and leaves precisely when they end. He does not socialise with the band outside of practice. The other members speak of him with a mixture of affection and bafflement.
Terry's the art of this band. I know he don't say nothing. I know he just stands there. But have you ever been in a room with someone who's so still that the room changes shape around them? That's Terry. He makes the space different. When Terry's there, the noise means more, because there's someone inside it who's completely silent. He's like the hole in the middle of a record. Without the hole, the record don't spin.
I've known Terry since we was at school. He was quiet then and all. He once went to old term without speaking in class, and the teacher didn't notice because he was just there. Present, but invisible. Like furniture. Not in a bad way. Good furniture. Solid. Reliable. He's like a wardrobe, innit?
We're 3 weeks in. We've got 2 usable tracks on tape. 2 in 3 weeks. At this rate, the album will be finished in 2014. I've worked with difficult bands before, but most difficult bands are difficult because they've got too many ideas. This lot are difficult because they'll spend an entire afternoon debating whether a snare drum should be tuned half a turn to the left. And then Baz will declare that the snare is a tool of the establishment and refuse to hit it for the rest of the day.
Spit bomb ain't the right shape. Spit bomb ain't the right size. Spit bomb is a metaphor for everything wrong with our life.
That was good, Baz. Really. One more take.
Was the tempo right?
The tempo was fine.
It felt morally wrong.
What does that even mean? How can a tempo be morally wrong? 155 beats per minute is not an ethical position. Something's changing in that room. I can feel it. The first week was chaos. Normal chaos, the kind I know how to deal with. The second week they started arguing less and just sitting. Long silences between takes. Degsy staring at the ceiling. Baz reading that bloody book. And Terry's always been quiet, but now his quiet is different. It's got a texture to it. It's thicker. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the room is getting quieter even when they're playing. I've been doing this a long time. I know when something's about to happen. And something's about to happen.
On the 22nd day of recording, Gerald Moncrief Hale arrived at Dogtooth Studios to find the band in an unusual state. What's happening?
Shh, we're listening.
To what?
The silence between the notes, Jerry. The silence between the notes.
Right, so what happened is, Tuesday night, late, I'd gone home. They was all in the studio still, having a barney about the track order for the album. And according to Degsy, and I'm relying on Degsy's account here, which is like relying on a sat-nav that's been dropped in a toilet, Terry suddenly stands up. Terry, who ain't said more than 6 words in 3 weeks. Terry, who I sometimes forget is in the room. Terry stands up, and everyone goes quiet. Because Terry standing up is an event. It's like Stonehenge deciding to go for a walk. And he looks at him, and he says, and I quote, because Degsy made everyone memorize it. He says, "The music is a cage. We must become the silence." And then he sat back down, and no one's played a note since. That was 4 days ago. I've got a studio booked for another 2 weeks. I've got tape reels running at 30 quid a day. And 4 blokes are sitting on me studio floor with their eyes closed and incense burning like it's a bloody ashram in Bermondsey.
We've had what you might call an epiphany, a revelation, a moment of, what's the word?
Transcendence.
Transcendence. Yeah. See, for 3 years, we've been screaming and banging and throwing things. And it was brilliant, don't get me wrong. Margate was brilliant. The gigs was brilliant. Being the worst band in Britain was brilliant. But Terry made us realise something. The most punk thing you can do is nothing. Think about it, Jerry. Really think about it. The government wants you to work. The record labels want you to play. The audience wants you to perform. Your landlord wants you to pay rent. Everything in this world is noise. Noise telling you what to do. Well, what's the most rebellious thing you can do in a world full of noise? You sit down. You shut up. You refuse to make a sound. You become the silence. That's not giving up. That's the ultimate protest. Silence is the loudest thing there is.
It's still punk, right? Definitely still punk. It's just quiet punk. Punk was always about refusing to do what they tell you. Well, now everyone's telling us to be loud, so we're being quiet. It's the logical conclusion, innit? If you think about it, which I have. For the first time in me life, actually. Thinking. It's quite good. I can see why people do it.
Are you concerned that your audience might not understand?
Our audience is 40 people and a pensioner. They'll get it. And if they don't get it, they can just sit there quietly, which is the same thing anyway.
I threw me drumsticks in the Thames. Walked down to Deptford Strand at low tide. Stood on the mud. Held them up, one in each hand. Looked at them for about 5 minutes. Then I threw them in. Most liberating thing I ever done. I felt like a monk. A Deptford monk. I stood there and I listened to the river and I thought. Siddhartha was right. The river's been telling us something all along. And what it's been telling us is, shut up and listen.
Terry, this was your idea. Can you explain it?
Sound is violence. Every chord is an act of aggression against the air. Every drumbeat is a small war. I looked at the world, the bombs, the mines closing, the police charging on horseback, the poverty, the anger, all of it. And I thought, we don't need more noise. We've got enough noise. The world is drowning in noise. What we need is the courage to be still. The album is called The Loudest Thing You've Never Heard. It's 40 minutes of 4 blokes from Deptford sitting in a room, refusing to participate, refusing to add one more sound to a world that's already too loud. It's the most punk record ever made.
They want me to record an album of silence. 40 minutes of nothing. I said, lads, that's not an album, that's a blank tape. And Degsy looked at me, dead serious, dead calm. I've never seen him calm before. It was terrifying. And he said, exactly, Malcolm. Exactly. And I thought about it. And I thought about it some more. And I think I might actually be right. I don't know. I haven't slept in 4 days. I've smoked 200 cigarettes this week. I might be having a breakdown. But I also might be having a breakthrough. At this point, I genuinely cannot tell the difference. I'll tell you something. On day 28, I was sitting in here, right? Listening to them not play. And I realized I could hear things I'd never heard before. The of the strip light. The The breath of 4 people breathing at different speeds. The creak of the chairs. A pigeon on the roof. Traffic from the main road muffled. And underneath all of that, underneath everything, this tone. This low, constant tone. Like the building itself was vibrating. Or the earth. I don't know. 20 years I've worked in studios and I never actually listened before. I was always recording. You're so busy capturing sound that you never hear it. I think they might have broken me brain, but I also think they might have fixed it.
People keep asking. Malcolm keeps asking, but what are you actually recording? And the answer is everything. We're recording the room, the air, the silence, the sound of 4 people not making a sound. That's full, that is. That's not empty. A room with 4 people sitting still in it is the fullest room in the world, because it's full of everything they're choosing not to say.
That cup of tea at the 19-minute mark is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. And I recorded The Damned.
I don't know if I'll play again. Not because I don't want to, but because I've realised I was never really playing in the first place. I was just hitting strings. There's a difference between hitting strings and playing music, and there's another difference between playing music and listening. I've gone from hitting to listening, and I've skipped the middle bit entirely. I think I might get a job in a library.
They've gone. Studio's empty. Tapes in the can. 40 minutes of room tone, 4 breathing people, 1 cup of tea. And at the 37-minute mark, what I think is a pigeon landing on the roof. That's the album. The Loudest Thing You've Never Heard by the Scalded Dogs. Will anyone release it? No. Will anyone buy it? No. Is it the most important thing I've ever recorded? Ask me again in 20 years. Right now I need to sleep for about a week and reconsider every decision I've made since 1965.
Three months after the completion of the silent album, Gerald Moncrief Hale tracked down the members of the Scalded Dogs to see what had become of them.
Right. Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and listen. Just listen. To the room, to the air, to the nothing. The nothing is everything. I run this now. Meditation classes. I call it Oi! Enlightenment! It's basically punk, but without the noise, the violence, or the music. So it's just sitting still. But the punk spirit is there. I can feel it. Every time someone closes their eyes and stops talking for 5 minutes, that's an act of rebellion. Against the noise, against Thatcher, against the old bloody system. We get about 12 people a week. One of them is Brenda Tompkins from the Margate gig. She does the advanced class.
I work in a library now. Best job in the world. It's full of silence. 8 hours a day, surrounded by thousands of words, and no one's saying any of them out loud. It's like being inside the silent album, but with a pension scheme. I still think about the guitar sometimes. 5 strings, the spanner chord. But I don't miss it. I've got something better now. This. All the noise you need, trapped in paper. Silent until you choose to let it out.
I'm a Buddhist now. Officially. While I'm training, it takes years apparently. But I'm committed. My mum thinks I've lost the plot. But her hip's better, so she can't complain too much. I still visit her every Sunday. I still make her tea. I just do it mindfully now. still think about the speed bump, but I've made my peace with it. It's the wrong shape. It'll always be the wrong shape. And that's all right. The world is full of things that are the wrong shape. That's what makes it interesting.
Terry Gudgeon was last seen in the autumn of 1985, standing on Deptford Broadway. He had been standing there, according to the owner of the adjacent newsagent, for approximately 3 hours. He did not appear distressed. He did not appear to be waiting for anything. He was simply present. Witnesses who passed him at intervals throughout the afternoon reported that he seemed, by all accounts, entirely at peace. No member of the band has spoken to Terry since. When asked about him, they all say the same thing. He's exactly where he's supposed to be.
People ask me if I miss it. The band, the noise, the chaos, the gigs, Spanner's terrible guitar, Baz's angry drums, Terry standing there like a monument. And I say, listen, can you hear that? That silence, that nothing. That's us, mate. That's the scalded dogs, still playing. We never stopped. You just gotta know how to listen.
I die grateful! We come from Deptford where the river runs brown, where the tower blocks lean and the rain comes down. We ain't got money, we ain't got fame, but we got 3 chords and we got no shame. Deptford dogs, barking at the world. Deptford dogs, Deptford, dying out through. They say we're nothing, say we're the worst, say our music sounds like a reverse in hers, but we're still here and we're still loud. 4 ugly blokes and we're doing us proud. Oh, Deptford dogs, barking at the world. Deptford dogs, deep down, a flying on through. We're going quiet. Standing at the bus stop, 8:30. Rain coming down like a fencer's hate. Number 47 comes round the bend. I stick me arm out, but it don't comprehend. Oh, that's my bus. You can't just drive past. I've been waiting here 40 minutes in the rain, you capitalist. Driver looks at me like I'm a ghost. Sails right past me to the next lamppost. Picks up some bloke in a suit and tie. That's class war, mate, I'm telling you why. Oh, that's my bus. You can't just drive past. I've been waiting here 40 biscuits in the rain, you capitalist. London transport is a tool of the state.